RuneScape is a really grindy game, and that's why sometimes it can be nice to make some progress in the background through some AFK tasks. 6 months ago, I made a video specifically for this, discussing 5 of the best AFK training methods in the game, but these methods were specifically for higher level players. And while there aren't too many early and mid-game AFK training methods, there are some, and that's what I want to show you guys in this video. So let's jump to the first method. First up we have is smithing. Not a very exciting AFK training method, but it is one that can be done at any smithing level. So it is a great option for some lower level accounts. Basically, all you'll want to do is craft either some gauntlets or some boots of any metal of your choice. You'll want to fill up the whole inventory, and then you can just smelt away. To ensure this is fully AFK, you will want the required smithing level to ensure that your heat level starts at 100%. So as you can see, this is just a table of all of the level requirements for each metal. So for example, if you're trying to fully AFK smithing and you have level 50 smithing, you'll actually want to do adamant instead of rune. At level 59 smithing, you can then do AFK rune smithing, because when you make the rune boots or the rune gloves, then you'll start at 100% heat. This method really is as simple as that. Obviously, you'll still want your smithing boosts like your smithing outfit, crystal hammer, smithing cape if you have it, juju potion, all that. But I would highly suggest checking out the wiki for all the various boosts. Next up, we have AFK Agility. Before we look at the actual method, I should mention Silverhawk boots. Now, this is only available for main accounts. Iron Man accounts cannot do this, but main accounts can buy Silverhawk boots, or possibly you have Silverhawk boots from long ago in your bank. But if you don't, you can buy them from the Thaler shop. Now, the Thaler shop is essentially a spotlighted minigame, so you can game Thaler tokens from spotlighted minigames. They are a bit hard to obtain some days because not every minigame is actually played by a lot of players. But if you can get your hands on 750 Thaler tokens, you can buy these Silverhawk boots, which can then be charged with Silverhawk feathers. Silverhawk feathers can be bought on the Grand Exchange, although keep in mind they will be permanently deleted next year in January 2027, as they are essentially an old MTX item that is no longer obtainable in the game. Once you charge the Silverhawk boots, you will gain agility XP just for walking around or training other skills. And essentially, you'll need to buy 23,000 of these feathers, costing about 140 mil, to have enough to go from level 1 agility to level 99, although it will still take a very long time. For the actual agility training method that I want to talk about, you will need level 65 agility. So at level 65, you can head to the Empty Throne Room, which is located just right outside the archaeology tutorial site. Now, you will get about 24.8k XP per hour doing this fully AFK. You can just hop on one of the manual auto cycles. There are 4 of them in the room. Every 40 seconds or so, one of them will become empowered, and this is where you gain 10 times the XP. So if you're fully AFK, on average, you'll be on the empowered bike about 25% of the time. Of course, you could do this method more actively, but that's not the point of this video. Another downside about this method is that you do have an account lifetime XP cap here of 800k XP. So once you get your 800,000 XP from this method, then you can no longer do it. That will get you from level 65 agility up to level 75, which is when you will have the agility requirement for Plague's End unlocking Prifdinous, which unlocks a new AFK agility method. So once you have completed Plague's End and unlocked Prifdinous, you can go north to the Heffin district and you can use the Serenity posts. You can see someone else's already here. Essentially, this is a daily. You can gain 20,000 agility XP per day. And just like the manual auto cycles, you can speed up the XP that you gain by using the correct pose, but even if you don't have the correct pose, you will still gain some XP just at a much reduced rate. As you can see, about 10% of the possible XP. So it will just take longer, but it's fully AFK. You can AFK for the full 15 minutes, just once per day, and a 20,000 XP cap per day. Also in Prifddinas, there is an AFK crafting method, so again, for more mid-level players, the method is attuning the Ithil harps. Obviously in the Ithil district, it isn't a fully AFK method because when the harp does reach 100% out of tune, you stop gaining XP, which does take around 3 minutes on average. The XP rates scale from about 35k to 60k XP per hour depending on your crafting level. Next, we have AFK construction. Another method that can be done at a lower level is Fort 4 and 3 construction. You can do this as low as level 1 construction. You will need to start the Fort 4 and 3 quest line, but there aren't any requirements to do that. I would suggest you wait until around level 40 construction to do this, but once you complete the Fort 4 and 3 entry quests, you'll basically be there. Now, the downside about this method is that it is fairly costly. It is a fully AFK training method, but as you can see, the cost per XP can be a bit expensive, ranging from anywhere like 20 GP per XP all the way up to maybe 100 GP per XP. Now, this method can be really nice though because it is completely AFK. You essentially just start the construction, you go to the optimal construction hotspot, and you can literally leave it for 15 minutes. The later constructions will take even longer than 15 minutes, and you would log out before it's even done. If you do want to train it a little bit more actively, you can hop around to the optimal construction spot. I tend to do it semi-AFK, so if I do see that it hopped and I'm checking the computer, then I'll move to the optimal spot. You do gain a little bit of extra XP if you are actively training it, about 20% more, so it is beneficial to train it actively, but if you want to just completely AFK, you can also do that. Mid-game combat also has a very good AFK training method. At around level 50 or 60 combat stats, you can start training in the Abyss fully AFK. It is much easier to AFK with Necromancy since it has the Blood Siphon ability at level 36, and also the Ghost Conjure, which also has some passive healing. The Abyss also works with other combat styles, ranged for example, where you can gain just over 200k XP per hour. It is essential that you have Chinchampas with ranged, so you have more AoE. So you will need level 45 for the Grey Chinchampas or level 55 for the Red Chinchampas. Also, the Vampirism Aura is currently almost necessary to make this AFK for ranged magic and melee, just because of its passive healing. Right now it's fairly cheap to buy for just 5,000 marks of war in War's Wares at the PVM hub. When training melee in the Abyss, I would try to use a halberd weapon, which you can either buy on the Grand Exchange as a main account. If you're an Iron Man, you need to complete the Regicide quest and then buy them there. It does have an extended range, which helps with some AoE abilities. Also, if you have level 55 attack, the Hurricane ability will be the best ability you can use since it is the best AoE ability for the melee combat style. For magic, abilities like Dragon Breath or Chains will be useful in the Abyss, but honestly, the best AoE ability for magic is the ability Detonate, which you will have to activate manually every 30 seconds. So with magic, it can be a little bit less AFK if you are trying to train optimally. There are a few other AFK methods that don't require as much discussion. One would be just archaeology with porters. Sign of the Porters do have a divination level to them, so you will need that, and you do need to make them yourself. You can't just buy them straight on the Grand Exchange, but what they do is automatically teleport materials straight to your bank. So if you do have a divination level required for some porters, just make the highest tier available, and then you can just go train archaeology. Everything will be teleported to the bank until the porter is up, and then you just equip a new one. So it does make archaeology much more AFK. So chopping ivy is another semi-AFK method for woodcutting. It does require level 68 woodcutting for the regular ivy, which is found just on some castle walls, There's some here in Varrock, some in Falador. You can see sometimes it really is an AFK. I literally did one chop there and it disappeared. Normally you could expect anywhere from about 30 seconds of AFK time up to maybe a minute and a half. And the XP per hour, it does obviously vary based on your level, but you can expect around 80 to maybe 120k base woodcutting XP per hour. Also, with the new Haven Height expansion, they did tease a new Ivy entering the game, which I believe will be a lower level Ivy, so that will be coming very soon, and it should work very similar, where it's a semi-AFK woodcutting method. Thieving is also another AFK training method, and you can AFK at various different levels of thieving. So first off, at level 46 Thieving, and if you do have the legendary 5-finger discount aura, which does cost a lot of loyalty points, but if you do have it, you can fully AFK Menophyte Marketeers at level 46 Thieving. If you don't have the aura, you can still AFK these fully if you do have Gloves of Silence, and also tier 8 Reputation with the Merchant District, which does give you an improved thieving success rate. And if you have level 78 Thieving, you can literally just fully AFK the Marketeers just with the tier 8 Reputation, and you don't require the Gloves of Silence at all. At level 62 Thieving, you can start safe cracking, which is also fairly AFK. You do get a little bit better XP if you are actively training it, but essentially there are some safes located around Gielinor. Here is a map of some of the lower level safes that you can go safe crack, and you literally just click on them and you can AFK from there. Every once in a while you will see that the safe flashes, and if you were actively training, you'd want to click that and unlock one portion of the safe. But even if you don't, you will unlock it a little bit less frequently, but still the XP can be really good as a fully AFK training method. And so those are all of the AFK early and mid-game training methods that I have for you guys. If you are looking for some more higher level AFK training methods, check out the video on screen now. See you all in the next one. Peace.